Hello, I am Donna Hambrick from the USDA National Agriculture Statistics Service, otherwise known as NASS. The goal of this presentation is to introduce you to NASS, explain the roles and responsibilities of the agency, explain the importance of protecting the relationship between the USDA and our respondents, explain the confidentiality, and explain our efforts to increase response. The mission of the USDA NASS is to provide timely, accurate, and useful statistics and service to the United States agriculture. The NASS surveys hundreds of thousands of farmers and ranchers each year. We conduct surveys by mail, the internet, telephone, and personal interviews. The NASS publishes hundreds of statistical reports annually. These reports are free and publicly available. Every 5 years, the NASS conducts the Census of Agriculture, where we collect data from every agriculture operation. The NASS is one of the 19 agencies within the USDA. The NASS employs approximately 1,000 employees. The NASS has 12 regional offices. Regional offices administer surveys, include field collection, and sets estimates for their region. The NASS has 5 data collection centers. These data collection centers collect data by telephone. The NASS headquarters is located in Washington, D.C. Survey administration at the national level, publication of estimates, and research and methodology are located at headquarters. Our National Operations Center is located in St. Louis, Missouri. The National Operations Center houses our list maintenance and training coordination staff. It is at this location that our questionnaires are printed and mailed, and when questionnaires are returned, this location keys and scans them to an electronic file. NASS contracts with the National and State Departments of Agriculture to collect data in the field and by telephone at our data collection centers. NASDA employs approximately 1,000 field and 500 telephone enumerators. What NASS is not: NASS has no political appointees. NASS is not a regulatory body. NASS has no policymakers or market commentators. NASS provides data. It is the data user who interprets the data. The need for agriculture information is critical. For farmers and ranchers to remain competitive, everyone in the industry needs to be well informed. Accurate, usable data about changes and opportunities in agriculture creates a powerful tool that benefits sectors at every level. Data enables everyone in the agriculture community to make better decisions and become more successful. The primary users of NASS data are farmers and ranchers who use data to make decisions about what and how much to grow or raise, to determine the best time to sell stored crops, to compare planting progress and crop conditions to regional and state averages, and to utilize when negotiating with insurance companies and banks. Farm organizations utilize NASS data to plan and develop relevant programs and aid in production and profitability of their members. Food processors use NASS data to better prepare for industry shifts and serve producers more cost-effectively. Agribusiness use our data to identify and act on business opportunities, formulate inventory and pricing plans, and anticipate changing needs of customers. The media use NASS data to create context for news stories, inform readers, and promote industry issues. Government agencies use NASS data to make and administer key legislative decisions for the industry and create and evaluate programs to promote the industry. What NASS does can be summarized into 3 steps. The first step is to conduct a survey by collecting responses from farmers on crops, animals, agriculture production, economics, and practices. Once data are collected, NASS sets estimates at the state and national levels. Some examples of estimates produced are acres planted, livestock inventories, seed, fuel, and fertilizer expenses. The final step is to produce and disseminate these estimates to our data users. These data are disseminated through an electronic publication or data set. Listed on this slide are some examples of NASS surveys. This is not a complete list. There are too many to show on one slide. We can summarize these surveys into 4 categories: crops, livestock, farm economy, and reimbursable surveys. NASS publishes nearly 500 statistical reports each year, plus many more at the individual state level. These estimates can be found on the internet at www.nass.usda.gov. Once on this page, click on the tab marked Publications. From here, you can find the most requested report or a specific report by month or topic. This slide shows the general task for any given survey. Starting at the top and going clockwise, we have specifications and OMB clearance, budget and questionnaire design, sample selection, training, data collection, data validation, and post-survey analysis. All of these tasks are brought together by a project administrator. Specifications is the contract scope of the work. It is the technical requirements for a survey, census, or reimbursable data collection effort. For example, the NASS and NOMS agreed upon NASS collecting the data for NOMS and performing all steps prior, aside from some sample selection guidance, and delivering the data to NOMS for analysis and further publication. For this study, NOMS provided the scope, budget, and timeline. NASS and NOMS worked together on the specification needed to administer the survey. Getting more into the role definitions, I will start to define who does what. NOMS and NASS headquarters together developed the scope. The scope was to conduct a field-only survey collected on paper with a sample of 3,997 operations in 28 states. These states are listed on this slide. Together, we developed the budget for the amount per sample for Phase 1, the timeline for NASS collecting Phase 1 through July 30th, 2015, and the questionnaire and sample design. The sample and questionnaire were developed using methodologists who worked to achieve unbiased data as the end result. NASS, with the help of NOMS, trains employees working on the survey and enumerators collecting the data for Phase 1. NOMS, with the help of NASS, trains for Phase 2. For data collection for Phase 1, NASS's NASDA contracted enumerators collect data for Phase 1, market Phase 2, and obtain a consent form for NOMS to conduct Phase 2. NASS's regional office and headquarters perform data entry. NASS's headquarters and regional offices do consistency checks based on edit limits provided by NOMS. NASS's NASDA, regional offices, and headquarters perform tracking and quality control. NASS's headquarters follows the tracking, editing, and status of the data collection effort. To assure the best possible Phase 2 scenario, NASS uses our survey management system to populate the sample, review the sample, assign enumerators, and prepare records for data collection, such as providing labels for the questionnaire to be used in Phase 1. This system was used to create mail files and workloads. The first mail file was for the mailing of a pre-survey letter and a launch sheet. Comments on the sample are reviewed, and certain cases may require to be held or have special handling by an enumerator with experience. For Phase 2 of the survey, NOMS receives consent forms with a label affixed to it that contains the pertinent personal identification information for the consenting operation. This information must be held in strict confidence. NOMS collects samples and specimens from respondents that consent to Phase 2. NASS's regional offices edit questionnaires for reasonableness, completeness, and coverage. This process is conducted using manual and machine processes. The key areas that regional offices concentrate their efforts are correct completion codes, consistent imputation procedures, and verify large percent changes in reported data. Once data are validated, NASS turns Phase 1 data over to NOMS for analysis and summary to use in conjunction with Phase 2 survey results. All staff handling the dataset at NOMS headquarters have completed confidentiality training and certification. The NASS Data Lab and NOMS has been deemed secure. Possible outcomes of Phase 1 data collection are out of business, refusal to respond to the General Equine Health and Management Survey, completed the Phase 1 survey and consent to Phase 2, completed the Phase 1 survey but refused to participate in Phase 2, out of scope for the survey such as a racetrack, church, or prison, an office hold, or inaccessible. If the outcome is the operator completes the Phase 1 survey and signs a consent form for Phase 2, then the NOMS main office receives a hard copy of the consent forms. NOMS coordinators will receive the contact information for these equine operations from the NOMS main office. Consent means that an operator agrees to be contacted by a NOMS VMO or AHT for possible participation in Phase 2 of the study. However, signing the consent form does not obligate an operator to participate in Phase 2. Now we will discuss the confidentiality. Confidentiality ensures the identity and data of our respondents are protected at all times. Several laws have been enacted to protect data confidentiality. I encourage you to take the time to review the content of these laws. Violation of these laws are punishable by time in prison or a considerable fine. These laws are United States Code, Title 18, Disclosure of Confidential Information, United States Code, Title 7, Section 2276, Confidentiality of Information Law for USDA, and Confidential Information Protection and Statistical Efficiency Act of 2002, Public Law 107-347, enacted in 2002. It contains important provisions for statistical agencies. It is the responsibility of each one of us to secure confidential data. We must maintain the security of the questionnaires by keeping them in a physical location that is safe. We must not discuss information on this questionnaire with anyone. We must follow procedures taught in our annual security training about maintaining PII. This slide shows the consent form filled out by Phase 1 operators who consented to be contacted for Phase 2. This slide shows the confidentiality form signed by NOMS APHIS staff handling data at NOMS headquarters. NASS conducts many surveys. We have a relationship to maintain with our respondents to continue to serve agriculture with solid statistical data that is defensible, having precision, reliability, and accuracy. Increasing response happens naturally when we remember the NASS mission. The National Agriculture Statistics Service provides timely, accurate, and useful statistics in service to U.S. agriculture. Timely means that surveys revolve around a reference date with data collection times dictated by specific due dates. Accurate means that we gather data in a confidential, systematic, unbiased way. Useful means that publicly available results benefit the entire industry. Anyone working on the NOMS equine study should work hard to achieve the NASS mission in their work on the project to give the best data to agriculture. All survey data provides answers to someone. It is important that data are timely, accurate, and useful. It is our job to get the work done and provide data in a timely manner to be used for its intent. The data must be accurate. Response is crucial for accuracy. Trust is important for obtaining data from our respondents. Knowledge of survey purpose, survey procedures, and biohazard safety precautions all help with trust. We must provide useful data summaries. It is important to explain how results are used to ensure useful participation. We never release operation-level data. Our data releases are always aggregated. Thank you very much.